Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is April 3rd, 2022. Very good news today. Even though there are so many things going around that they could depress you. Last week I spoke about a good sign that it is happening in Egypt, and that gives us hope, which was the program aired in Egypt about Islamism. Today, something it's almost like a nuclear bomb intellectually took place. Not today, actually, about 3-4 days ago. Unfortunately, I looked online to see any of what's called respectable media to have anything about it. None. Zero. Nothing. I'm going to talk about it. However, the title of this video is, has Saudi Arabia officially started to dismantle Islam? Question mark. And I'm putting question mark because I don't want YouTube. Somebody complains and they take the video down. Imagine if, the war in Ukraine, it's not a nuclear war, or in Syria or Yemen, and yet you can like find something on some newspaper or news site or whatever. But when something like Ukraine happens and no newspaper, no news channel talk about this, it's either they are so stupid or they are working on a certain agenda and this does not really bother them so much, or both. Okay. I get emails about few things. I got emails about few things about the killing of the Hindu girl in India, which this is very important subject. And also Raif Badawi is a person who was standing for his freedom in Saudi Arabia, and he was put in jail for 10 years. This is a very important subject. The marriage of the young girls as young as 8 years old, they are sold, actually. They are sold to marry, and many of them actually they die because 8-9 years old cannot handle this. This is too much for them. Some of them, they become depressed for life. So all that, these are important subjects. Even something more very important, probably I'll talk about it next week, is the normalization of some Arab countries with Israel. This is a very important subject. However, the media spoke about this subject, but not about the subject I'm going to talk about. In the beginning, I want to speak about the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. This man, from the very beginning, before the death of Jamal Khashoggi in Turkey, I felt this man, and if you go back to my video before the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, I felt he is doing something good for the sake of the country. And he cannot allow everybody to speak at once, because people, in Saudi Arabia, I understand, they want freedom. So whether it's Raif Badawi, Lajin al-Hazlul, or all these people, yes, they want freedom, they are fighting for freedom. However, as they say here, the saying goes, we have bigger fish to fry. Let's see. Few days ago, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia declared few restriction on Islamic practice. Number one, not to do, it is very hard to translate, but not to do wrong things while you are doing something called umrah. Umrah is like almost half Hajj. Hajj is like the pilgrimage, the Muslim when they go to Mecca to perform pilgrimage. That is 2 months from now. This thing will take place in Saudi Arabia, Hajj. But there is also, you can perform something very similar to Hajj. It's almost like, to make it simple, like half Hajj, which is to visit Mecca and to go to the black stone, whatever color it is now, and the black building that you see, that cubicle building, and you visit there, and this is considered like, yeah, kind of Hajj. Okay. So for 1400 years, nobody, it didn't come to the attention of anybody except now that people are practicing wrong things during this half Hajj. So he says, this we shouldn't allow. Okay? If you look between the words, he's actually saying, stop this nonsense. This is what he's saying. And the people who, now it is like a nuclear bomb fell on the Saudi people. Those, the young people who want freedom, and those who brainwashed in that stupid teaching that it came to us 1400 years ago. So he's saying, let's forget this nonsense practically. And the Twitter and the comments is fighting between the two people who are trying. Some people want to continue in this nonsense, and some people say enough. And I think it will be enough pretty soon. Okay? In December last year, 2021, there was, I spoke about this, and I think I called it, the video, you can go back to the video, would Saudi Arabia withstand the coming tsunami number 2? Because 4 years before that, I could see the boiling situation in the Middle East, and I made a video called it, would Saudi Arabia withstand the coming tsunami? And it seems to be, to me at least, the people in power now, they understand that they have to change. It's either change or you will be changed. And for a man, he's a young man like Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. He's aware of what's going on in the world, and he knows that these ideas and this teaching is, your time is up. So one of two. You change or you will be changed. And if you are changed by force, that means you will be squished. So he is looking for the good of his country. Hey, go ahead. I have nothing against that. So what he did, I mean, to me, when Egypt, they put that program in Ramadan to, to present the terrorism and the people who put the thing on the head, there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet, and they go and they kill and bomb and blow themselves up in markets and supermarkets and stuff like that. That's bad. So Egypt is speaking indirectly about this. Indirectly. And in December last year, United Arab Emirates made the weekend Saturday and Sunday like the rest of the world. When I was a child in Egypt, our day off was Friday. Then they made it Friday and Saturday, but you work on Sunday. So now you work on Friday. That was the suggestion in December of last year. You work on Friday. We'll let you go early. This is like a generous gift. So if in case if you want to go to pray, you go and pray in the mosque. You want to go home early, that's your business. And when I saw that, I felt, because Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia visited United Arab Emirates at this time, just before that, I think he brought this idea to them and he told them, because you already took few steps towards freedom, you start with this and then we'll follow. He hasn't followed in that yet, but I predicted in December of last year when I made the video that the rest will follow. And I think that will happen soon. With the things, how fast it's unraveling, I think that will happen soon. So practically saying, forget this Friday nonsense, and let's work, and let's be like the rest of the world. When they are off, we're off. We don't make an extra holiday. And soon it will be Friday is a full working day. You pray after you go home. Okay. Now, he told about that Hajj not to be the wrong stuff in it, not to be practiced. This is a smooth language, practically saying, guys, don't give us headache, stay at home. Second thing he issued is the people in the mosques will have a loudspeaker, not one, few, in all directions, 360s. And practically in Saudi Arabia, every block has a mosque, literally. And at the time of prayer, imagine each block has a mosque with loudspeaker circle around it, screaming, Allahu Akbar. And let's say you have a small baby. What is this? The baby doesn't know that. He screams, he cries, he gets scared. An elderly man or woman wants to rest. I myself, when I was in Egypt last time, 5 o'clock in the morning, they are doing the same. I went to bed at 3 in the morning. You disturb my sleep at 5 because you calling me to prayer. If I want to pray, I'll go to pray. Leave me alone. So he told them not to do that anymore. Not to use loudspeaker to call for prayer. You want to call for prayer, you go to inside your mosque using your voice. And it's a ritual. You want to do this ritual inside your building, you do that. So you don't disturb people resting. Day or night, don't disturb people. So this is a huge step. I mean, in addition, he declared that restaurants can open during the month of Ramadan. What do you have restaurants for? Because before, restaurants were to be closed. You open at the time of breaking the fast. And let's say I'm from Egypt, we have about 10% of Coptic Christian in Egypt. That's 1 out of 10. In addition, some Muslims, they may be deep devout Muslims, but they can't fast because they have certain sickness, and they have to take medicine, and they have to have food with the medicine, and so on and so forth. So they can't fast. Elderly, they cannot fast, because actually the Muslim fasting, you don't eat or drink from sunrise until sunset. And in summer, this is extremely hard in hot countries like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, all the Gulf region. It's extremely hot. So elderly cannot withstand that. But if you want to eat, you have to hide. You have to wait until you go home. Even if you need a drink of water, you have to wait until you go home. Nobody sees you, you can eat and drink. But you can't buy a bottle of water, let's say, and drink. You will be stopped by the police and you could end up in jail. So he declared that restaurants can be open. So if you want to eat or drink, religion is not by force. Go and eat, go and drink, you are free. So in a way, he is that freedom that it was taken by force from people, he's letting go of that. That's, to me, this is like an atomic bomb. He's actually dismantling this stupid stuff that came to us 1400 years ago. He's getting rid of it. And now he's taking bigger steps. He's taking more different direction. The angle is becoming sharp. And because he declosed the people who used to control the religious leaders who used to control the mind of people, he practically pulled their fangs out, and he declosed them. They cannot do much now. Many of them are in prison. Hey, if it works, it works. And one more thing. He said children should not go with their parents to the mosque. Why the newspapers, the big news channels did not talk about this? This is big. He wants to stop the children going to the mosque with the father or the mother, with the parents, because he knows the brainwashing happens there. They start to fill up their heads since young age that you ought to kill the infidels. You ought to chop their hands, their fingers, chop their necks, chop their heads. So from a young age, a child hearing that, it becomes the norm. He or she grows up like soaked in that filth. And they don't know that they are soaked in that filth. So I think this is a good step, because the brainwashing happens in these places early in life. So when the child waits until he becomes, let's say, 15 years old, and then he start to go to these places, and he listen that you should prepare yourself to go and become a suicide fighter and go to the supermarket and carry a bomb around your body and kill the people there. I don't think it will be that easy for the child, even though he's still a child, 15. He has kind of like reasoning, why should I kill myself? He will start to ask. So he prevented young youth to go to these places. That means you will have more clean mind of young people growing up. So, and further, he said all mosques are prevented from broadcasting the prayer on TV or any public or any TV channel, private or public or whatever. You pray without cameras. You pray in your mosque. You finish the prayer, you close the mosque, people have to be dismissed. There used to be something called iftar. Iftar is the mosque will prepare meal after prayer. They will break their fast in Ramadan, but they will break their fast and they will sit 2, 3, 4 hours talking and charging each other with hate towards the infidels and how to kill the infidels and how to prepare to get what kind of weapon to kill the infidels. And that will practically be the talk after breaking the fast. So he told them, this is, you don't collect donation anymore for that break fast stuff. And if you want prepare meal, you prepare the meal, and like an hour after the meal, an hour to serve the meal, and you clean the place and you close. All that, he's putting a restriction on a wagon that it was running out of control 5 years ago. These people were in charge of everything. Now, this is the center or where Islam started. They are dismantling everything, and the news does not say anything about it. So, to me, there is in my last video about what's happening in Egypt and this program in Ramadan really breaking the norms, and they are speaking about the ills of society, that it came to us 1400 years ago and destroyed societies. Now Saudi Arabia is taking substantial steps to dismantle this nonsense. We thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you.